ของพี่ยืนมาประคองยืนปลอบใจน้องเห็นน้ำตาคลอเบาช่วยเช็ดน้ำตายามเศร้ากอดน้องเบาๆแนบไว้ในอกลงเถิดน้องลงมันอีกลมเขาที่จะช่วยกัน
Hi guys, how you doing? Another Friday night. Welcome to the stream here with me, Peter. Right, okay, let's say hello to everyone first. See who we've got in at the moment. Just 18 in right now, so early days. A lot to get through tonight. Who we got? Let's have a look. Alex, you're here at the beginning this week. Yeah, you came in right at the end last week, didn't you? Good to see you, mate. Crypto Rocketeer. I thought I was analysing that old video of scams, was just pointing out, do you know, honestly, I can't, because I've got nearly 200 videos on the stream now, and that one about scams I made a year ago, and I honestly can't remember what I put inside. I can't remember all of it, so I can't really relate to it. I didn't analyze anything actually. I can't remember. I've got a very bad memory these days, but don't worry about it. I wasn't offended if that's what you mean. Right, Shin Rana, how you doing? No name. We're all gathered here again at the end of the week. Well, yeah, there's only 22 of us at the moment. Let's hope that picks up. Hi Atil, happy Friday, Peter. Yeah, Damien, how are you doing? Thank you. You put that on the screen from Damien there. Greg, game on. How you doing? Matthew, Alcorn, Darren, Drew, Greg. Good evening. And Taxi to Laos. Yeah, so usual suspects in tonight as usual. Clive Parkhurst, hi from Sweden. Stuart Wright, good evening, Peter. Seamus Doherty. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about that at the beginning now, Seamus, because I always, when people ask me about going back to Thailand, when do I think it will happen, my usual answer is I don't really look into it too much because I'm not planning to go right now, but I have got some up-to-date information, let's put it that way. I did research it thoroughly today, so I'll talk about that when we got a few more people in, maybe 100, and yeah, we'll just go through. I've got loads and loads of stuff tonight, and once again at 10 o'clock we will be having the Spot the Ladyboy competition again, but I warn you guys, it's going to be really difficult this week because what I've done, you had 3 already and they've been kind of, they weren't too, well, they were kind of difficult, but this one's going to be really difficult. There's 5 ladies, there's 18 pictures, 5 of them are real ladies, but what I've done, I've tried to pick ladies who don't look so feminine, and I tried to pick the lady boys who look very feminine, so it's going to be a tough one, but we'll see if anybody gets that right. We'll do that at 10 o'clock. Spot the lady boy. Okay, who else we got in tonight? Christian Manson, bound for Patio 29th of October. Good, that's not too far off. John L, yeah, good to see you, mate. Gary Russell, hi. Original, yeah, you know, I can't pronounce your name. I'll put it up on screen there. Oh, well, hi to you. I'm presuming you're in Germany or Sweden or one of those Nordic kind of countries. Okay, who else we got? Jim Woods, hi. Right, I think that's everybody. It took me a long time to get through all these last week. Andrew Hammond, hi, how are you doing? We'll talk about your book when we got a few more in, Andrew. There's 65 in now. We'll wait till we get into over 100. Who's that? Martin McNally, how are you doing? Did anybody see, just while I'll kill 5 minutes till we get a few more in, but did anybody watch Edward C's stream? He's on his trip to Crete. It was a hell of a journey. I mean, I didn't realize he does his traveling by National Express. If you're not from the UK, National Express is a coach service similar to Greyhound in thanks, Darren, appreciate that. I will do. Cronenberg's will come out at 10 o'clock tonight. Yeah, it was... he basically filmed himself getting from where he lives. I think he's in the southwest of the country. Obviously, I don't know exactly where, but from journey, he's in, and he took an 18-hour. Now, what have I? Oh, we've got a bit. Sorry about that. Is that off? Yeah. So it was an 18-hour bus journey. Then he ended up in Crete, and he showed you his hotel room. So I'm looking. Oh. Bit of a freeze going on there. I'm looking forward to seeing a few more videos of Ed in Crete, and they should be quite interesting. I'm just noticing from the monitor again, the quality, we had this last week, didn't we? The quality goes and comes, but as long as you can hear me all right. What it is, my Korean wife and daughter. They're upstairs. They've got 2 separate rooms, and my wife is watching Korean movies, and my daughter has got a TikTok account. She's got 4,000 followers. She does cosplay. I don't know, but I've asked her for her account, but she won't tell me where it is. But that's why sometimes the quality of the stream goes down. I've got the fastest Wi-Fi you can get, but it's just, 3 of us on there. Right, hi to Black Bolt. How are you doing? Stuart Wright, Brandon Van Bolvin. That's a great name. Crypto Rocketeer, you got to... okay, that's probably a private message. Me, the Lion King, are you planning any meetups? We had that one last week. Not planning any. I always say hello to people. If someone recognizes me and they want to buy me a drink, or I'll buy them a drink, whatever, I'm not a snob. Okay, so let me just mention a couple of bits from the old trusty clipboard before we get into the main events, as it were. I'll probably tell you this a few times because obviously people come and go. I'm on for 2 hours now, hopefully, and people come and go throughout the stream. So I'll probably mention this a few times. Bangkok Pat, Bangkok Pat, I would hope. He makes those quite decent videos about different locations, areas. He's half Thai. He was brought up in the UK, then he moved permanently out to Thailand, and he lives out there, and he makes some great almost documentary type videos about areas of Bangkok. Well, he does his own live stream now, and for guys in the UK, it's 2 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, and it's that would be about 8 o'clock in UK. I think 6 hours ahead, isn't it, in Thailand? Right. Well, I'm actually going to be a guest on Bangkok Pat's live stream tomorrow. I guess he'll be asking me lots of personal questions, which I don't mind. I've said he can ask me whatever he wants, and so that's at 2 p.m. Bangkok Pat's tomorrow. I'll be a guest on there. So just say hello to a few more. Franco, Peter, when you're talking me up, when are you taking me up in the air? Oh, it's just been so dreadful, Franco. When you see this hot weather, you think, oh, it's good for flying, but it's very thermic, and the microlights are very, very light. So, and now we've got all the wind and rain, haven't we? Right, super. Has he got another one out then? Let's just put that up. Super Steven says Edward Sweeney now in, yeah, we know he's in Greece. Yeah, right. Fran Rush, when you're going back. Tommy Armstead, is it? Nice. Somebody said to me tonight, I could never do a YouTube channel because I get tongue twisted with people's names. I can't get the names out, and I was like, well, you just you improvise, don't you? Right, Brandon Van Bolvin. Thanks for the compliment, Peter. Never heard that before, to be honest. That I have a great name. Yeah, you sound almost like a James Bond baddie. If you don't take that in the wrong way, take as a compliment. 105 in now, so. We'll talk about a few bits and pieces. Just carry on saying hi. Tommy Armstead, how are you? Flies. And Timothy Mitchell, hi from California. What time is it in California now? It's you'll be behind in time, I guess. Will you? Is it breakfast time? Okay, so I'm just a few bits and pieces I've got to shout out now. Itchy hooter tonight. I don't know what's going on. Right. There's a guy who listens to the stream, and I cocked up yesterday when I get 2 weeks ago when I gave him a shout out. His name's Noel. And he's actually blind, but he loves to listen to the videos. He loves to listen to the streams. He does still work with a local authority, but he just happens to be blind. And I said last week, I want to give a shout out to Noel. He watches the live streams every week. So a bit of a cock up there, because obviously if he's blind, he can't. But if you're watching this, Noel, I wasn't taking the mick. It was a genuine error, but hi if you're watching. And right, okay, so let me talk about Andrew. I might mention this later as well. Do you remember we mentioned Andrew Hammond's book? I've got a copy of it here. I don't know if you can see that. It's called Get Me Out of Here, Travels and Adventures, Mishaps Around the World. I'm not getting paid anything for promoting this. I'm not getting any kickbacks from Andrew. He sent me the book just because I wanted to have a read of it. But I'm not making anything on it. It's not getting sponsored, but it's a great book. It's like, when we talk about these books, Thai books, My Name is Lom, Damage Done, I've got it up there. What is it? Private Dancer. Memory's going. Them sort of books. This is actually a really good book. It's Andrew went traveling at 50. Just thought, sod it, I'm going to go. And I actually learned a lot from this book, but I'll tell you how good it is. He starts off in Europe, and then he goes through, I think it's Turkey, and then he goes on. He eventually ends up in Pattaya, and then he goes on a working holiday to Australia. So last Sunday, I didn't have a lot to do, and I felt really lazy. And I thought, I can't really talk about his book if I don't read a chapter or two. So I thought I'll read 1 or 2 chapters, get a feel for the book, see if it's any good. It might be boring. It might be good. Do you know what? I read 100 pages on that Sunday, and just to prove it, look how much I read, I've marked it. And hang on. Yeah, about there. So I've marked it to there. I'm on that chapter there. It's called the Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. He's just off to America. But you can see, look, that's one session. So I haven't had time to read it in the week, Andrew, if you're watching, but it's a really good book. And one thing I'll just show you the cover again. You can get that on Amazon, and if you get it on a Kindle, it's actually free. I can't remember how much the book costs, but I tell you what I picked up from that book. When you go traveling as a solo traveler, a lot of the times you spend time on your own. So like, for instance, me, I always stay in half decent hotels, but then when you go out into the town, if you don't have friends there, you don't know anybody, you've got to meet new people. But one thing Andrew did, and bearing in mind he's 50, he stayed in hostels. And I always said, oh, I wouldn't stay in hostels. You know, there'll be bunk beds in there, and you're sharing a room with maybe 5 strangers, 6 strangers, and they have a locker under the bed. But one thing I picked up from the book was whenever Andrew went into one of these hostels, he made instant friends. Sometimes he'd be sharing, you know, one of these rooms with only girls. There was him and some girls, you know. But I like I won't give anything away, Andrew, but I like the story with the Chinese girl that you actually shared one of your hostel rooms with. But that was a thing, you know, when you stay in the hostels, you met people and you had friends, and you were talking about the guys you went drinking with and stuff. And I think I missed out on that because I've never stayed in a hostel. I've never thought about it before. And, you know, well done. It's a great book, and I highly recommend it. I might mention it later, as I say. Right, let's carry on saying hello to people. Right, so a lot of people heard of hang on, let me just put that one on. Michael, how you doing? Michael, it's afternoon. I said it was morning, so nice to have you on the channel anyway, Michael. Nice to see you. Greg from California, Black Bolt. Okay, so we're talking about Bangkok Pat's channel there. He says it's a good channel. I liked his video, 5 Decades of Nana. Very, very interesting. You know how he mixes the old with the new. And the reason we're talking about Bangkok Pat is because I'm a guest on his live stream tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I spoke to him, was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday, just to go over things. So I know he's going to ask me some personal questions, which I won't be able to duck and dive from. Right, Christian Manchester says, I don't care about bars open or not. Have a date anyway. All right. Nicholas Fletcher, hi Peter. Missed lots of live streams, has been busy. Nice to finally catch up. Yeah, Crypto Rocketeer. I don't know what language that. Okay, TG. I don't. You're having a private conversation with someone. Keith Morris, how are you? Paul Hoskin, how are you? And Brandon Van Boven. Let me just put that up there. So it's quite a long one there. Quite a young guy there. Is that you today, Brandon? When I used to travel alone, I went to hostels a lot, and I actually meet my best friends there from all over the world, to be honest. Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's something I've never thought about. I've always been a bit of a snob. I thought, oh, I wouldn't stay in a hostel sharing a room with strangers. But actually, there is a benefit to it, isn't it? Because you're going to start talking to people in that room, whether you like it or not. And, you know, like you've just said, you meet a lot of friends. I've just got to stick a few banners up, let you know what's going on. As always, I've got to do this. Not that one, this one. Okay, so let's. I've got lots of stuff to get through, and if you've just joined us, there is the Spot the Lady Boy again at 10. Right, so okay, right. I just wanted to explain something about a video I put up and I've taken down, and I want to tell you why I took it down. And I'm not going to put up any more videos. I put a video up about a week and a half ago, and it was filmed 2 years ago. And what it was one of these kind of candid shot videos. It was taken along the beach road, all the freelancers. I wasn't like walking and the camera was doing this. It was very static. It was very stealth, and there was very good footage of lots of different girls. But what I did, I put nice music over the background, and I put text, so I'd see something and I'd put something in text, and it was quite entertaining. And it was the second time I uploaded it because I actually deleted it before. And this time I called it something like a walk in the coconut bar. I got a little bit of flack from 1 or 2 people, and that's not why I took it down. But I went off and thought about it, and I thought, you know, at the end of the day, that's not my style of video, really, filming girls hanging around, standing around. There are a lot of people who do that. You had, was it 9112, Bangkok 9112, and there's another one, Alzia, so it begins with an A, it's got a Z in it. They do them kind of videos, and that's not really me. But because I'm not in Thailand, you know, you're always racking your brains and thinking, how can I keep the channel fresh? What can I do that's different? And I found this video and I edited it and I made it all nice and I put it up. And I thought about it afterwards, and I thought, you know, these girls, they're working in Pattaya. Perhaps everyone's got internet now. Perhaps parents, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know they're working, you know, doing that kind of stuff. and it only takes one of them to see her doing it, and you know, I could ruin her life, couldn't I? Or it's just not my style. So I took it down, and I've made a conscious decision. I'm not going to make them kind of videos anymore because I don't think it's fair on the girls, and it's just not my sort of style. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you about. Right, now, another thing I wanted to tell you about is Simon. You know, Simon, my partner on the channel. So good news and bad news. The bad news is he just can't manage to keep this YouTube channel going with me. We were getting into silly arguments because it's kind of almost like my baby. I started this in a hotel room in Hua Hin 2 years ago. I think I had 5 subscribers when I got back to the UK, and I've built the channel from being here in the UK, which has been very, very difficult, to be honest with you. You guys have been great supporting me. But Simon, he wanted to come in. He was enthusiastic. You know, Dave, Simon's responsible for the Dave and Nat cartoon series. That's one of the reasons I brought him in. I wanted him to bring some fresh content to the channel. You know, he's in Bangkok. He made 1 or 2 videos in Thailand. They weren't super popular, but they were in Thailand. He does the Nat and Dave every 2 weeks. But they're just such a lot of time. And Simon runs his own business. He has a factory in central Bangkok. They convert containers into office blocks, toilet blocks, that sort of thing. And, you know, they were always coming out late, these Nat and Dave videos and other things. And I was constantly on his back saying, come on, look, I can't, you know, I'm on a live stream saying Nat and Dave's coming out tomorrow, you're not producing it. And then it's Monday, and then it's Tuesday. You know, I can't operate like this. And we were having these silly little, we're best of friends. We've been friends for nearly 30 years, but we were falling out in a minor way. And in the end, Simon took the decision that he didn't want to let me down. He couldn't keep up the schedule with a channel because it's a lot of work. And I'm retired now. I only work part-time, a few hours every week. So I've got the time to really concentrate on the channel. And then, so we both came to the decision. Well, Simon wanted to pull out completely because he said, look, we're friends. I value friendship more than, you know, do a YouTube channel. And I just can't, because he's so busy. He's got Thai staff. He's got his family there. And you've got to put in a lot of hours with these animations. But on the other side of the coin, I didn't want to lose the animations because they are very, very popular, the Dave and Nat animations. So I've done a deal with him now. It's not the best of anything. So really, he's not got anything to do with the channel. He's not answering comments. He's not going to be on a live stream. He's not going to be making any videos. But the deal I have done with him, and he's promised me faithfully that he will do it. And obviously, I'll pay him for his time. But like I say, we're really good friends, so I hope he'll stick to his word, which I'm sure he will. But what he's promised me he'll do, on the last Saturday of every month, there'll be a Nat and Dave video uploaded. So he's got a full month to prepare the video. I know they're only 6 to 10 minutes long, and you're probably thinking, well, it's a 10-minute video. It can't take that long. It takes a long time. As I've mentioned many times, you've got to write out the script. You've got to set up the animation, you know, arms moving, eyes blinking, and then you've got to get the Nat to do the voiceovers. If I'm in it, I'll do my voiceover. Simon, and he's, you know, sometimes he'll do accents, and then he's got to put that over it, and it's a hell of a lot of work, guys. And so because of that reason, Simon's not going to be around on the channel at the moment. Possibly in the future he might be, but the Nat and Dave, we've still got it once a month. I really enjoy them. And I hope that we could have kept them going every 2 weeks. It was a story, then Nat and Dave, then the stories, and then Nat and Dave. But, you know, once a month, he'll probably be able to manage. All right. So, you know, we'll, if anybody wonders where Simon's gone, that's it. Okay. So who else we got? No, nobody, man, just me. Just come on now, pal. But I think you're doing a top job. I'll put that up. Your check's in the post, okay? Do people use checks anymore? I used to get through a checkbook a month, but I think they're a thing of the past, aren't they? Okay. Right. Who's this? I can't actually say that, Andrew. I don't know if that's kind of a joke, or I'll put it up on the screen, but I don't know if that's a joke or you're serious about that. But I don't know what you mean by that. All right. Okay. Fair comment there. Right. Okay, so we've got a few people in now. We've got over 150. So I don't normally, as a rule, you know, I don't really like talking about sandboxes and when we can get back and what the rules are. But I did a lot of serious research today. I'm just going to read out the things I found out, what they're saying over there now, when we can go back, when we can't go back. Okay, I'll just read that. There's about 2 or 3 of them. I'll read these, get them out of the way before we do the fun stuff. And then if anybody comes in later and, you know, 5 minutes before the stream ends and says, when do you think we can go back to Thailand, Peter? I'll just say, look, watch this on the rerun. Okay. So And being the dinosaur I am, it's all on clipboard again. Right. So the title of this one, guys, is Thailand hopes to welcome tourists to Bangkok, top cities next month. So this was yesterday, this story. Some of the quirky stories aren't serious. Sometimes they're up to a week old, but these kind of stories, I make sure they're fresh. Right. So this one, I'll read it. It's this is from Reuters. I got this from Reuters. Yeah. It says Thailand plans to reopen Bangkok and other key destinations to foreign tourists next month. Officials said on Tuesday, aiming to revive its battered travel industry after indications the number of new infections may have peaked. Bangkok, Hua Hin, Pattaya and Chiang Mai will be added to a program in which fully vaccinated visitors who commit to a series of tests can enter under certain criteria. Vaccinations, you know what I mean by vaccinations, right? Could be an obstacle to an October reopening. However, with only 30% of Bangkok residents fully vaccinated so far, and just 15% of people nationwide given the required 2 doses, it also comes as some countries place restrictions like quarantine on arrival from Thailand, in part due to the low rate, including Britain, a key market. So, you know, if you go to Thailand now, you've got to quarantine for about 10 days when you get back. I know. So another story on a similar lines. The title on this one is Thailand moves to reopening target. Thailand moves reopening target back to January. And this one goes, the Tourism and Sports Ministry vows to open the whole country without quarantine by January next year, so 2022, yeah. But such a move largely depends on nationwide herd immunity. The Tourism and Sports Ministry said Bangkok was scheduled to reopen in October as part of the second phase for the country, but this phase has been delayed to November as the majority of residents will not receive the second vaccine dose until the end of October. Meanwhile, Chiang Mai, Pranchup Krani, I can't pronounce that, Khan, Hua Hin and Chonburi Pattaya will go ahead as planned on October 1st, as well as Phetchaburi, which hasn't yet started its SOPs. Only safe areas can reopen Thai tourists on November 1st, while international tourists are expected to enter without quarantine from January, led by travel bubbles with neighboring countries. I've got one more of these, but just before I read it, I don't know what they're thinking. You know, sometimes I read crazy stories. The latest I've read now is that they're thinking of kind of separating foreigners from Thais, you know, on certain areas like Pattaya. Just something I read. I don't know. I don't know what the whole story is, but it might be just for amusement parks or something like that, where you know, Thais are in one side and foreigners are in another. But how would that work around the bars? I'm not so sure. Okay, and here's another one. This is a prediction story now. This one, it says. So the title of this one is. I think this is the last one on this. We've got a couple on Pattaya as well later. So this one is because you're always asking when can we go back. So I can only tell you what I read. Which is in the public forum. So prediction for international travelers to Thailand lowered again. Tourism researchers have once again downgraded their expectations for the total number of international travelers in 2021 after Thailand has yet to recover from the third wave of the pandemic. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, known for its rose-tinted predictions, that's their words, not mine, and press releases, had predicted in January that 2001 it would 3 million international travelers would visit Thailand. They later revised that target to 1.2 million visitors, but they now say they expect only 300,000 international travelers by the end of the year. So not too good. Yeah, there's a couple more, but I won't do these now because I don't want to talk about, you know, doom and gloom all the way through. Right, what should we talk about next? I've talked about Andrew's book. Right. I'll tell you what I'd like to talk about now. A lot of people, let me just see who else is in the channel, and I want to talk a little bit about Trevor and something I've seen on his channel, which I thought was a bit strange. Okay, just whiz by it. Right, Nicholas Fletcher says, pity, liked you and Simon together, always lots of laughs. Yeah, I mean, we both regret it, Nicholas, but the problem is, you know, I'm semi-retired and Simon holds, you know, he's got staff, he's got a full-time job, he's got to commit to that first, he's got to feed his family, hasn't he? He will come back eventually, or he'll start his own YouTube channel from Bangkok. I don't know what he'll do, but at the moment it's going to be at least a year because he's busy. Greg, that's not the reason why Simon and I have we're not kind of doing it full time on here anymore. We're the best of friends, and you know, we've left on an understanding. There's no bad blood between us. He just hasn't got the time. Okay. Even if we only meet Nat 2 times a year, it's worth it. Well, hopefully it'll be 12 times a year, but the story's getting good, isn't it now? Somebody wrote a comment the other day and they said, is this story, the Nat and Dave, is this story actually true? And I just wrote back and put, it's true so many times, because it is, isn't it? Who's that? Guideline 7, hi from Germany. How are you? Nice to have you on the stream. He looked, right. Franco says he looks like a troll to me, Peter. Who's that, Franco? Just put the name up and then I can go and do something with him. Or maybe you don't want to do that. That's fine. I'll look out. High five, I'm ready for 2004. Parky. Let's put that up. Sad to hear about Simon. I would rather scrap Nat cartoons and just hear the crap from Bangkok. Yeah, but you know, the thing is, the Nat and Dave cartoons, they are really a lot of people follow the channel just for them cartoons. Right, who's that? Shemi, right, he said, what street is that behind you? That is actually the picture behind me here. That no-name bar I've actually been in. Well, I've been in most of them bars down there. That is Hua Hin, and this area that you're looking at is Soi Bintabat, and that's a very famous area in. There's two areas in Hua Hin. Well, there's more, but the two main areas before the pandemic was Soi Bintabat, which is next to the Hilton Hotel, where you have all these bars, and there's a lot of them. This is a very small section you're looking at, and then the Soi 80 and 81, which is kind of bit cheaper, and the kind of people, the guys who live there, kind of go there. The tourists kind of go to these places. It's a good crack in Hua Hin. It's not, you know, it's not Pattaya, but it's, you know, if you're an older guy and you don't want to, you know, you're not so. There's a big difference between Pattaya and Hua Hin, but Hua Hin is good. I like Hua Hin. Right. Yeah, you're spot on. Stuart says, looks like Hua Hin. It is. Right. Keith Morris, 3 days in a hotel in Pattaya. Yeah. Okay. So let me. Right. I just want to. Who's that? London Chinese cabbie. Hello. B&B in chat. Yeah. I would have thought you're working on a Saturday night, or are you on the rank on your mobile phone, like watching it until you get a passenger? But nice to see you anyway. Digital Crab. Unfortunately, I think there is a chance UK might be shut down again in October. Yeah, I didn't want to mention that, but I've heard that when we have the school breaks, it's normally a week. They're thinking of doing making a third lockdown in the UK, and instead of the kids having a week off school, they're going to make it 2 weeks. But nothing's confirmed yet. So let's get to that road when it comes along. Okay. Timothy Mitchell, heading to Phuket the first week of December, ready to get out there. Let's hope some bars are open when you get there. Right, Nomad Traveller, hello from Vancouver. Yep, how are you doing? Hi, Lee Smith. I'll just try and get as many of these up as I can. Right. Oh, okay, Franco, thank you. I won't put it on screen, but if I see him in the future, I'll look out for that. Damon says, what's that? I go through 2 checkbooks a week paying customers. They can scan checks on smartphones straight into the bank. That's fair enough. Right, that's Damon there. I'm just going to tell you a little sad story about Damon. I asked his permission if I could tell this story. I mean, you might, well, you won't laugh, but Damon, I talked to him on the phone times, and he was gutted yesterday. So what happens? Damon's got a scrapyard, a business, you know, scrap metal. I won't tell you exactly where it is, but he's got a big kind of like barn building. And there was he has doves in there that, you know, he likes the wildlife. So these white doves, they come into the barn. And one year, earlier in the year, I think it was very early, one of the baby doves, it had an injury or it couldn't fly. So Damon actually reared it from a little chick, you know, and he used to go down the garden center and get the seeds for it. And this dove grew to full size, and you know, every night Damon made a little nest for it in the corner of his barn, and it'd go there every night. And every morning, when it was an adult, Damon, when he used to open up in the morning, the bird, it could never fly. So it was destined to kind of live in that barn forever. But it got so used to Damon and his dog that when it'd be in the office, this dove would walk around, it'd sit within inches of Damon's feet. And when he was going to get food and stuff. So there was a bit of a relationship between this dove and Damon. That's what I'm trying to say. And he was hoping, he knew it'd never fly, but he thought one day, you know, he might come in the barn and it'll be laying on its side. He'll take it down to the woods and he'll bury it, and that's it. And one of his bloody staff, so what happened was he went into his barn, there was the dove on the floor. He thought, I'll go and lock up and then I'll put the dove away and shut the door and I'll go home. And one of the staff was back in the forklift lorry, the forklift truck into the barn, and he went straight over the pigeon and killed it, the dove. Damon went in there and he thought it was a plastic bag or something like that. Well, obviously, I know it sounds strange, but it was quite close to that dove, and he was quite upset when he told me about it. So things like that happen in life, don't they? That's quite a sad little story. Right, Del, hi, how are you doing, buddy? Lee Smith, okay, you're talking to Franco. Right, okay. So I'm going to get, what's the time now? 9:30. I better start getting through these stories. Let's do the exchange rates. The pound's really good at the moment. It's up to 45. I've got 4,000 baht upstairs, but it cost me a lot more than £100 to get it. Yeah, the pound's 45. Damien, your prediction is 50 by Christmas. You never know. Okay, I'll leave them up for a while because somebody complained once and they said I don't leave them up long enough. Right, I just want to talk about a lot of the people in this, a lot of the people who come onto my stream, they watch Buzz Impatia, Trevor's channel. And I don't watch many other YouTube people unless I have something to do with them. I used to watch Irish Dave until he took his channel down. I watch Pat's videos because they are really good. I'm not just saying that, they're really interesting. They're just so different to everybody else's. And I do occasionally watch some of Trevor's, and I like Trevor's because I'm not kind of just upping him, bigging him, and then hoping he'll do it on his channel. So, you know, I'm not doing that. And what I'm going to tell you now is totally genuine. So I watched Trevor's videos, and I watched a couple. You know, he does a chat where he'll say, look, send me money, and every penny of it I'll spend on giving out food, the orphanage, and that. And I was watching one. Well, I've watched a couple of them, but one the other day, and they're in an orphanage and they repaired the roof. They got toys for the kids, and it wasn't a gimmick. It's not like, hey, look, we're on the back of a, we're going to give out all this money. I got 100,000. That's going to be gone in 5 minutes. And you know what I'm talking about, right? It wasn't like that. It was genuine. You know, it's like, guys, send me money. We'll go down. I've got my Thai helpers. We'll help the kids. We'll help the orphanage. We'll help the poor people. And that's what he does. And he went. I'm going to get to the point. There is a point to this story. So he went to the orphanage, and I watched this video, and it was great. I mean, he did a lot of good with his and without the guys. Obviously, let me just take this off now. There's the latest pandemic numbers from the Bangkok Post today. So he does a lot of good. You guys or his subscribers send him money. One guy sent him £500. £500. And regular guys will send him £100 super chat, £200 super chat, because they know Trevor's going to take that money and he's going to take it to the orphanage. He's going to buy food. So the first one I watched, it was in the orphanage. They repaired the roof. They got really good toys for the kids. They repaired a play area. He was talking about some of the kids were incontinent, so they wanted to get plastic covers for there. So what I'm trying to say, he did a lot of good things with the help of his subscribers for that orphanage, right? So that's the first one. The second one, which I've seen a couple of things, what he'll do, he'll get trays and trays of eggs. He'll get bags of rice, oil, and they'll make up these packs. They go into a village where they've got nothing, flooded out, right? And they give out this food. I've seen one, it was absolutely heartbreaking. Two of them, actually. There was a girl, she was living in a wall. It was like a concrete pillar. The plaster came off. She was in there and she wouldn't come out. She was really timid. He'd give her food. There was another guy who was like a skeleton. He was obviously very, very sick. They called an ambulance and they wanted to take him to hospital. And the Thai, Trevor speaks Thai, he was saying to him, look, we want to help you. We want to take you to hospital. And the guy was scared. He didn't want to go to Thailand. He wasn't eating his food. And he looked like a skeleton. You look at the guy and you think, he ain't going to be around much longer. Okay, so what's the point of me talking about all this? I watched these two videos and I thought to myself, whatever you think of Trevor, you might look at him and think, I don't like that guy. Now, if you watch this, Trevor, you're a top guy. I don't think that at all. I'm just giving an example. But what I thought, I watched them videos and he had like 8 thumbs down on the orphanage video. He had, I think it was 16 thumbs down on the giving food video out. And I'm thinking, you know, here's a guy. Okay, you could argue and say it's business. He's doing it to get his numbers up. So what if he gets a few more subscribers? The bottom line is those people who are sleeping on the street are getting hot food, right? Them kids in that orphanage, they've had their roof repaired. They've got toys. So there is a result out of there. And I'm thinking, who are these guys who go on a channel, watch something like that and give it thumbs down. I mean, I've got a couple of guys who either done. I've just had a look. I was just about to say, I've got a couple of guys. It doesn't matter what video or live stream I put out there. Within minutes, I'll get 2 thumbs down. And I just looked, and they're already there. But I guarantee those 2 thumbs down will have been there from 10 seconds into the stream. And I think I know who they are, but that's not what the story's about. So, I'll end this point now. So the whole thing about the story was, you got this guy. He's a YouTuber. He's out there. He's doing a lot of good for the local community. And you've got dickheads out there giving him a thumbs down. I mean, I don't get it, guys. Do you get it? Let me know. Right, okay, let's get back to your comments, see what you'll say about it. I've got to go through these fast because there's loads of them. Right, Mark, right, let me put that up because you said that's your first time. You're welcome. My first time joining the live stream. Hi, all. Let me get rid of this damn ticker. Right, you'll probably want to know how the old diet's going, so I'll get rid of this as well. Right, so I've changed. I'm going to make a video when I've finished this diet because I started at 115 kilos. I'm down to 99 now. I might be 19. I might be 88 and a half because I only weigh myself every Sunday. I'll explain it when I make the video why you shouldn't weigh yourself every day. I'm trying to get down to 90. I think I'll do it, but I'm eating a little bit more now, and I'll explain why again in the video. I'm not following anybody's diet, and I'm not going to do a recommended. I'm just going to tell you how I lost the weight. But let's wait till I get down to 90, or I get down to 95 and I say I can't do it anymore, guys. All right, so that's how far I've got to already. Okay, I haven't checked the comments for a while. Let's see what we're all saying here. Be interested to see what you guys think about what I've just explained to Trevor. Keith Morris says, every time, Horhin every time for me. Yeah, I mean, sometimes guys are right and they'll say, oh, Horhin's boring. I prefer Pattaya. And without a doubt, Pattaya is, you know, it's got everything. It's a real party town. But sometimes you want a little bit laid back. You know, Horhin's got bars, they got pools, the only thing about Horhin, the beach isn't great, but 20-minute taxi ride, you got Char-Am, which is beautiful. Yeah, we've done that already, David. I explained, yeah, I enjoyed Ed's video. Didn't he go the long way round on those buses to get there though? Okay, put that up there, bit of community spirit going on there. All right, I've got some great stories here. Is it? We'll do spot the lady boy at 10. It's going to be difficult tonight, guys. Right. What's London cabbie? What are you saying there? London's a lot busier now. Yeah, I bet you've suffered. A lot of people have suffered, but you're in your cab. I'd be interested to know if you're actually on the rank now. It's a Saturday night. I can't imagine you sitting at home. What's this? Right. Wow. Thailand bound subscribers, true stories. I haven't forgotten to send you mine. Just not had the time yet. No, that's okay. And I've got some more good news for you. Do you remember the guy? What's that? Bob Custody. Regarding the donation, some blokes don't like virtual signaling, and the money is just to look like fake caring. You could say that. I don't agree with that. The bottom line is, you might say fake caring, but the bottom line is that orphanage got fixed up. Those people who were starving, they got fed. That's the bottom line. Right. I'm not going to defend that anymore because it's his channel, not mine. I'm just, you know, I was just mentioning that because all the thumbs down. Right, let's get back on track anyway. Don't forget tomorrow morning, guys, 4 true stories. I've got the stories already. They're there now for the members, the silver and gold members. But they'll be tomorrow morning. I'll release that video to everybody. But do you remember the guy who sent me the video from a high security prison? I can't tell you which country, but he sent me another story. I haven't read it yet, and I've got quite a few stories. So again, as I always say every week, if you've sent me a story and you're thinking, why isn't he reading my story? I will, but I go through them by date. So the oldest ones get read and I go up like that. So if you sent me one, because if I don't read it out, you'll get a message from me. It's very rare I don't read out a story that's sent to me, but I think twice, and one recently, I won't tell you why, but I couldn't use them. Sometimes there's just so much swearing and bad language and slang. Even if I changed it, it would take me a day to do it. And I say, look, I just haven't got the time. So if you haven't had it, if you sent me a story and you haven't had an email saying I can't use it, your story will get read. Right. Right, Brad says, hopefully the Pattaya Horhin ferry will reopen at some point. Yeah, we'll have to see. Pesky McNuggets. Good morning, Peter. I slept in and missed the first 25 minutes. Malboy. I haven't missed anything yet. I'll go on a bit, you know. Right. What's this? I can't pronounce your first name there, but hi to you. Right, I can't see many of these comments about Trevor yet. Let me go right down. Yeah, Neil, I mentioned that. Same guy, the same guy sent £500 3 times. So I suppose if you own a big business, like say, let's give you an example. If you own a car lot that's got 50, 100 cars on there, and that turns over 30, 40,000 pounds a month, but you've got 6 of them, then a £1,500. I'm not belittling his very generous donation, but you know, I'm just trying to put it into perspective. But yeah, I mean, that would have helped a lot of people. Okay, so a little bit of support there. Dave Andrews says Trevor is a good guy, doing great empathy for the people suffering. I've had Trevor on a live stream with Simon. When Simon and I did our live streams lunchtime, Trevor from Buzz and Patty, he's actually been on our stream as a guest, and I've been on Trevor's stream as a guest. I wasn't on there long, but I've been on there. Right. Yeah, I know. He's done a lot. I mean, I won't go on about this all night, but he's... Okay. Franco says, Peter, your Wi-Fi is buffering bad unless it's my end. Well, do you know what, Franco? I did have a little bit of a problem with it last week. It's not as bad as it was, but so if I know if it's at somebody's end or my end, I've got a monitor set up here. And the reason I've got it set up is because I've obviously, when I'm looking on YouTube, I'm in the back end of it. So I'm seeing it as I talk, but the monitor is what you guys see. So I'm looking at it now and it's not buffering at all. So I don't know is the answer. As long as you can hear me speaking, if it buffers sometimes, I can't do anything. But I've got 3 people on the stream using my internet at the moment, streaming. So, right, Marky Mark, you do that every week. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let me just get that up there. Taxi to Laos, subscribe to Trevor's channel. Can't keep up with his videos, not enough hours in a day. Yeah, he does put a lot of stuff out there, Trevor. I mean, but he's full-time in Pattaya, isn't he? Okay, right. Right, Naughty Boy, good morning. How you doing? Philip Moffat, you must have come in a bit late, Phil, because I've explained that. But basically, it's going to be the last Saturday of the night because Simon's no longer with me now. We haven't fallen out, but it's just he hasn't got the time with his factory. Right, let me say hi to PA Comanche. How you doing? I haven't flown for a while, my little microlight. A few people haven't mentioned it. Who's that? Javier Lopez. Trevor seems like a humble person. I hope his new bar in Treetown is a big hit. So, well, I think it will be. It's not his bar. He's just representing it. Somebody else is putting the money in, but that doesn't matter. If it's got the buzzing name on it, he's going to get people in it, isn't he? But we're on Thailand Band now, not Buzzing Patty, so I'm not going to talk about him anymore. Right. Let's have a look. Yeah, so lots of support for Trevor there. That's good. Right. So and thanks again, Marky Mark, for that. Right, I'll put that up, Franco, so you don't think I've made it up. Naughty Boy says he thinks it's your end. So obviously he's not having that buffer problem. I don't know. And who's that? Someone give me another super chat there by the looks of it. Who's that? I can't. I'd like to put them up, but I can't. I will find it. There we are. Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Appreciate that. That goes into the Cronenberg Fund. Another 15 minutes. I'll break them out. Okay, right. So it's been really serious, hasn't it? We'll be doing the Spot the Lady Boy shortly. What should we do next? Got some. Right, I tell you what. You must have all seen this. I've got a video on this. You know all the floods. I'll read this to you, then I'll show you a video. It's an Indian news team. I cut some of it out, but it's just you probably all watch these videos, but I'll show you the one I've got anyway. So this one, the title says Pattaya rocked by heavy rains and floods with more predicted. Pattaya is being pummeled by heavy rains over the past few days, causing locals flooding in roads and neighborhoods around the area, and weather forecasts call for more torrential downpours. Now, when you watch this, it's not the most clearest footage, but just cast yourself back to 2 years ago or whenever you were last there, and you're walking down the beach road and there's the sea and you can hear all the music from the bars and you're walking along that rickety old pavement. Well, if you did that today, you're going to see this. No, that's the wrong one. Hang on, we'll get to that one later. Where are we? I have got... right, here we go. Yeah, just have a look at this. It's about a minute long, this clip.
Pattaya was battered this morning by heavy rains that caused flooding in rural areas and major city roads in Pattaya and Bangalore. The flood stranded many vehicles on the road, with some areas seeing floodwaters reaching up to 1 meter high. Many criticized local authorities, as flood management projects were supposed to help avoid situations like this. The heavy rains pounded Pattaya for 5 hours, starting during the morning rush hour around 7:30 am, and not relenting until midday in most areas. The gathering water hit roads around the city and surrounding area from 30 centimeters in some areas to flooding as high as 1 meter on some Pattaya roads.
Okay, so that's pretty bad, isn't it? And I actually spoke to Simon yesterday, and it must be global warming, because he said, you know, he's lived out there now for about 12 years full time, and he said that it doesn't normally rain like that. You know, they have a rain for a couple of hours, it's torrential, isn't it? And then it stops, and then the next day maybe you have another couple of hours. But he said it just keeps on raining day after day. So, you know, I don't know. Right, let me just, this is a great story, a bit sad. I don't know whether to say it's a sad or a happy story, but did you read the story? This happened. The first guy was last week, but an old guy, an old retired. He was an English guy actually. He was on his motorcycling Konkan, that's up in Isan, and he went into a jungle road, and he got lost. He was lost in the jungle for 3 days, and he actually survived by taking leaves and just the water off the leaves, you know, little pools of water. And they eventually found him. And the clip I'm going to show you now, this is where. There was 2 guys actually. There was one recently. It was either yesterday or the day before. He was a Swedish guy, I think he was. But this is a guy from last week. But the clip I'm going to show you, if you haven't seen this already. So this is where the Thai, I don't know what you call them, the rescuers. This guy's he's an old guy, you know. He's been in the jungle for 3 days. They found him. They're bringing him out of the jungle. And his Thai wife, I think she's about 60. His partner, she's just hysterical. Just watch this and see what you think.
Thank you everyone. ขอบคุณทุกคนนะคะขอบคุณทุกคนขอบคุณทุกทีมงานที่สู้มาด้วยกันขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Thank you a million, George. Thank you.
A happy ending to a sad story. It's very short. Let me read out, because I've explained it to you, but the actual facts are here. It says another missing expat man found safe after being lost in a forest for the second time in as many days. An older expat man has been found after being lost in the forest for a few days. Yesterday, a British man in Konkan was found after being lost. This is last week, right? 3 days in a forest when he wandered off his motorbike for a stroll and couldn't find his way back. Now, today in Phetchaburi, a Dutch national who went missing on August 31st was found alive in Tai Yang District Forest Reserve after 4 days. I've never heard of this happening before. It's happened twice this week. Okay, I've got a couple of other good ones here. Right, let's do this now. Let me do a few more comments and we'll do something different. About 10 minutes till the Spot the Lady Boy competition. That seems to be quite popular these days. STE25, hi, any memories of Washington Square to share? Pat's got a great memory of that. Do you know the CIA used to drink around there? You know, they have CIA everywhere, don't they? Washington Square, yeah, I used to go, not often. I lived on Soy 22 for a time, opposite what was Larry's bar. It was kind of surf dive shop. A guy called Larry from California. I actually went to California, went to Larry's house. Very nice. He had a Thai wife that he'd actually met in America. But so, yeah, I had an apartment in Soy 22. It's all knocked down now. and there used to be Washington Square. That's all gone now. It's a big coach, unofficial coach car park. But I went to a place called Bourbon Street that was owned by an American. I used to hang out sometimes with his son. His name's Chris. I think he got into some bad habits. I don't want to get into it here. But yeah, I've got some good memories of Washington Square. It was close by. You had a lot of like bars that I like. You know, they haven't had millions spent on them. They're not high tech. They're not like the Steel Bar or the Aeroplane Bar in Pattaya. Or I mean, they're just bars that are run by a few Thai girls. They got fairy lights around the bar, but they're nice people in there. You know, they give you the service, and they're the sort of places I like. Yeah, okay, so somebody else now. Is it Sergio? He says sound is all good, video and audio is all good. Oh, let me show you this. You know, sometimes I talk about, I'll just give you a little bit of an intro into this. Sometimes I talk about, you guys know I'm married. My wife is from South Korea. She's been with me for 31 years. When I worked in Thailand, she was with me a lot of the time. A lot of the time I was in Thailand by myself. A lot of the experience I talk about with the bar girls, they're not my experiences. My wife has got no hang-ups with me going with friends to go-go bars or beer bars, or I'll go to Pattaya for a weekend with a friend. She'd go to Korea. She had all her Korean friends in Bangkok. They had hair places and where they get your nails done. She'd go there and drink coffee. She'd go eat in Korea. I'm getting to the point, right? But she'd go in and eat the Korean buffet with them and that. So she hadn't got any issues, and she doesn't have any issues with me doing this channel. But I get really fed up when people, they keep coming on and saying, oh, you know, you're a sexpat, and you know, you just let me just show you a comment, and without me saying anything more, this will just give you a flavor of the sort of stuff that comes in. And I'm fed up of defending it, actually, but then I suppose I should expect it. There we go. Just look at this comment, right? So this is from a guy, I want to live in Thailand. That's the name of his channel. And I thought, wow, he must be a big YouTuber. He must have hundreds of thousands. I went on his channel and he's got 4 subscribers. So I'm guessing his mum, his dad, his wife, and his neighbor. I don't know. But if you can't read that, if that's too small, it says instructional videos for sex tourists. Absolutely disgusting. And you can see what I've written in a reply there. But you know, I get from every now and again, I get people come and write these silly comments, and you know, I'll read it out what I put. I put, you have a very small mind, and you assume most guys head out to Southeast Asia, not as sex tourists, as you put it, but to get away and have a break from the typical negative attitudes that they have to face every day in the West from people like you. And I hope I answered that correctly. Just this one last thing on Trevor now about these thumbs down and all this good stuff he was doing. He actually lost his cool on one of the videos. He actually swore. He said, I'm going to say it. And he said, you know, I don't want to swear, but he swore. And he said, look, to the guy who keeps coming up and saying, I'm an e-beggar and all this. He said, I don't keep a penny for myself. It all goes to the poor, the hungry. And he said, if you want to have it out on me, I'll go in the boxing ring with you. You come down. He really lost it. And then people were writing saying, calm down, you'll have a heart attack. But I won't talk about that anymore. Let's what else? Right, who else is waiting? Chris Jenkins. What would Thai police do if doubling the speed? Well, you'd be paying out quite a bit of money, I'm sure. That's quite right. Could I pay off police if? Well, I'll put that up there. To be honest with you, if you went double the speed limit in Thailand, you probably end up killing yourself anyway on some of the roads, Chris. But yeah, I mean, I've got to be careful what I say here. 20 years ago, I'd say yes, definitely. Nowadays, not always, no, because it's kind of changing. That's all I'll say on that. Right, yeah, I was being a bit sarcastic there. Yeah, thanks, Taxi Cloud. Good answer. Del, what you say now? Del, I'm ready to test my ladyboy spotting skills. Got to keep the skills sharp. Don't want to be getting tricked. It's really another 5 minutes. We'll do that one, guys. Spot the lady. Right, let's do I get a lot of people on the channel. Again, I got to be careful. I'm just going to... Right. I don't know if you've seen this video. I'm not going to give an opinion. Right. I've got 2 videos to show you. Now, the first one you might have seen because it's been around on the internet for a while. And what it is, it's a Chinese tour group. Because, you know, China and Thailand are supposed to have this special relationship like the UK and America, right? But China and... Thailand's supposed to have this special relationship, but yet I've watched a lot of videos where Thais are always complaining about the way that the Chinese tourists sometimes behave. You know, like I watched a video of a Chinese tourist kicking temple bells with his feet, and you know what the ties and feet are like. So this is quite an old video I'm going to show you, but this was taken in Chiang-Mai, and this is a buffet, a seafood buffet, and this was the Chinese, the mainland Chinese tour group tucking into this buffet. Okay, so I'm not going to give any opinions. You watch it and you form your own opinion.
A group of Chinese tourists were caught on camera, well, behaving badly. The tourists were filmed amid a feeding frenzy at a hotel buffet in Thailand. Seafood seems to be their food of choice, as one by one they frantically climb over one another to fill multiple plates at a time. Most were employing the double place technique, using one plate to scoop food onto another, while others, well, just use their hands. The tourists were seen taking 3 or 4 plates at a time. Tables were filled with seafood. Afterwards, photos were taken of the leftover uneaten food, prompting netizens to criticize the behavior of the greedy tourists.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I'll probably get slaughtered if we got Chinese watching. But I do want to show you a picture, and this is regarding China as well, because this is an official story, and I'll show you I'll put a picture up, and I'll read the story, then I'll put the picture up. If I can find it, I've got so much stuff for you here. Yeah, here we go. Right, so the title of this one, this was taken from, I think it was the Examiner. It says, how China is starving Southeast Asia of water. Okay, it is now early on in the rainy season, and the water volume on the Mekong River should have been high, but levels on certain stretches of the international river, which runs from China through Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, have reached their lowest points for 57 years. On Thursday, the Intergovernment Mekong River Commission, MRC, released a statement on its website to notify the public about the continuing low flow of the river since last month. The Jinghong hydropower dam in China has worsened the situation. From July 5th to 19, China cut the volume of water released by the dam by half. So this is the Mekong River that runs through all those countries, but obviously, you know, China's got the biggest control on it. And just have a look at this picture, and what you'll see is to the top of the hydro dam there is the river, how it normally flows, and this time of year it should be it should be high, shouldn't it? And you know, it's well, you can see from the bottom half of the picture, and I don't know, that's quite serious stuff, isn't it? Starving the other countries of the water. Right, and let me say thank you to Waz Tassan, is it? Keep the horror stories coming. Is that the yeah, there's 4 more in the morning. Yes, there's a good one. 4 of them, 3 of them are kind of love stories, and one's just a quick one. But thanks for that, I appreciate that. We'll do okay, look, I'll tell you what. We'll do that later because we've got the Ladyboy competition coming up. Right, I'll tell you what, it's that time of night, guys. What I'm going to do, let me just take this off. And that's a very generous, I appreciate all donations to the Cronenberg Fund, but that was a very generous one. Let me just read a few of these, and I'll go and get the Cronenbergs out the freezer next door and the Sprite from the fridge in the house, and then we'll do the Ladyboy competition. Mazza, what's that? Evening, late arrival tonight. I hope you're well. Just opened a cold Heineken. Well, you're just in time. Thomas Mark, so many greedy people in the world. Yeah, high five. The mainstream media is always trying to brainwash everyone to their woke oppositions. We need unbrain. Okay, getting some mysterious stuff, and I'm going to put that up there just because I like that picture of Borat. I like these informative news. Yeah, I mean, I had a guy on one week. He said, "Oh, not the latest stories that I read out to you, but the kind of funny stories. Sometimes are a week old, like the guy coming out of the jungle." And somebody left a comment on the stream and said, "Oh, that's a week old." And I was like, "Look, mate, it's a fun stream. It's just a quirky story. If you really need up to the minute news, then go and watch BBC or CNN." And I wasn't being sarcastic, I meant it. Right, I'll put that up, but I don't want to sort of say too much on it. Yeah, okay. Some interesting comments here. Oh, okay, so someone says, Mark says Philippines has just went back into a full lockdown. Okay. Yeah, and if you haven't heard about it, guys, they're thinking about another 3rd lockdown in the UK when the next half term is, or quarter term, whatever it is. The kids break up for a week, don't they? But they're thinking about making it 2 weeks and then having a kind of mini lockdown I don't know. We'll have to see, but we don't want any more doing them. Right. It's that time, boys and girls. I'm going to go and get my Heineken, my Kronenbergs, and then we've got the Spot the Lady Boy competition tonight. It's going to be a different one, guys. There's 18 pictures. There's only 5 real ladies. Let me get the answers up, because I won't know if I don't look at the answers. So the way I've done it, I've put a bit of effort into it this week. So I'm going to show you. Let me explain when I get back. Let me just put the interlude card on, and I'll go and get the beers. Okay, I'm back. It's that was Sam Moffat's idea. I don't like to leave like an empty chair there, but I'm all ready. And right, what we're doing, we're get the glass ready, get the beer ready. Right, Ladyboy competition. Now, who's giving me that $130? No, really? Let me just have a quick look before I get in this, because that's probably the highest. Yeah, that is. Let me put that up there. $130 gratis, Thailand bound. A few days ago, one of the cartoons was deleted. Now it says unavailable video is hidden. So one is missing. What's the story on that? I appreciate the class you bring to the boys. Keep teaching them how to. I'm not sure, Bob. Look, I'll tell you what. Look, thanks for that. It's really generous. Let me just put my email address up there. You can write to me and ask me that again. And I'll try and work out what it is you're trying to say. I'm not sure. You're saying one of the cartoons is missing? I don't know. But my email address is there for a minute anyway. Okay. I'll leave that there for a minute while I explain. So if you haven't been on the channel before, just for fun, and it's just for fun, guys, don't judge me. We do a competition called Spot the Lady Boy, and I'm going to show you 18 images. They're in I've made a video with nice Isan folk music. So I shall show you the it will run 18 pictures, and there's 5 real women in there. And the idea of the game is you've got to at the end of it, you've got to tell me in the comments the numbers of the ones that you think are real girls, not the lady boys. We're not looking for the lady boys, so they're mixed. Number 13 is kind of like the joker in the pack, and you'll see what I mean when we get to number 13. So I'll run it once. I'll look out for your answers, give it a minute or two. I'll run it a second time like we did last week, and then I've made a secondary one which is exactly the same, but it gives you the answers at the bottom. And I doubt if anybody will get all of these, because I've tried to make it a bit more difficult this week. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, I've tried to find women who don't necessarily look really petite, and I've tried to find some lady boys who look really petite. So if anybody gets all of these, I'll be really surprised. So I should stop talking now, really, and run the video. So here we go. This is make sure I don't put the answers on that and kill the competition. Right, let me just get rid of my email address there. And again, thanks for that very generous donation. That was unexpected. That's a lot. Right. Okay. 18. Okay. Let's see how you guys are done. Let me just get the answers up, because I can't. Let me get rid of that. I nearly blocked some of there by accident. Right. Have we got any takers yet? Let me get the answers here. I will run it again. Give me a minute. Right. Coming in thick and fast now. Right. Let me see. Let me hold these. I'm just checking the first three first. Or some close ones. No, nobody's got it yet. I mean, some of you are getting one or two of them, but I'm looking for the whole. There's 5 women, and I need the numbers of the whole 5 women. Yeah, some of you are getting. There's a lot of you getting a lot. Some of them, but not all of them. Let me double check these. No, Dave Andrew, no. Alex, no, mate. I will run it again. I'm just checking these ones. Yeah, I mean, there is one common one in there. Most of you are getting Franco. Yeah, you've got one. You've got 2, Franco. Normal Traveller. No, I'm going to run it again, and you can have a second bash at this. Yeah, no one's got them yet. I'll be, guys, to be honest with you, I'll be really surprised if somebody gets them all, because it is really difficult. Yeah, there's one that you're all particularly getting. Did you see what I meant about the wild card, number 13? That was the one we were joking with Simon on the daytime. Yeah, the thing is, Mark, you put 11 lady boys in total. I don't know what the numbers are. There's 18 images in total. 5 of them are real women, okay? And the idea of the competition is to guess. Damien says, number 7 was my partner. What's gone on? No, Damien, number 13 was your partner. Right, Philip Moffat. You got one. You only got one, Phil. Lee Smith. You got one. Oh, you've done quite well. 2. Yeah, oh, you got 2. Mr. Lion King. No, you've only got 1. Right. Before, let me look. What I'll do, I'll run through. I'll let it run again, and then we'll check your answers again, and then I'll run it the 3rd time with the answers in it. Okay. So let's go back to that, and here we go again. Make sure I do the right one. Right. I'll check the answers in a minute, but there's some good comments coming in now. There was a classic one by who's that? I'd like to put it up because I'm looking at the monitor there. See if I can find it here. Yeah, so I can't remember who. I don't know who wrote it, but somebody said that it doesn't matter after 20 beers. I think it was Paul. Yeah, there's so many comments now. I can't. Paul Hoskin. After 20, yeah, there you go, Paul. After 20 beers, it doesn't matter. Okay, do we have a winner? I'm going to go through all of these now. Right, Cowboy Vic episodes. No, mate, you haven't got it. You haven't got it. I'm not. Everybody's got. Right, I'll give one away. Number 5. That was such an easy one. That is a lady. So there's 4 others. Let's see if anybody else gets it. Frank DeRosa. Yeah, you've got 2, Franco. You've got 2. I think number 5 and number 13 were obvious ones. Alan, you got 1. You only got 1, Alan. Unfortunately, Michael Bradley, you got 1. It is difficult. Christia, I'll give it away in a minute. Krista, is it 3, 8, 11, 14? No, I don't think you got any of them right. Nicholas, 3, 5, 11, 15, 17, 5, 17. Yeah, you got Nicholas. You got a couple right. Stuart Marston, you got 1 right. Yeah, I'm gonna Sergio. You got I think. Let me just. You got 1 right, Sergio. I think you got 1 right. Yeah, only 1. Everybody's getting number 5. Jamie Smith. Yeah, you got 1 right as well, Jamie. Timothy. Yeah, you pretty much you number 5 and number 18 are obvious ones. Crypto Rocketeer. You'd think I'd be able to remember 5 numbers, won't you? But I can't. You got 1 crypto. Okay. I can't go through all of you guys because there's just so many up there. But I can tell you very quickly, nobody. Just double check. I don't want to say nobody's got it and then somebody has got it. No, nobody, as far as I say, right. Most of you, Dell says it's tough. It is very tough. Let me just take this comment off and come back to it. Blimey. Comments. I'll put that on there and then get that on. That's it. Right. No, it's. I don't think you. Right. I'm going to run the answers video now, and Nicholas says Tarzan's back. So you're familiar with the lunchtime streams with Simon. That was number 13. Where, if you didn't notice, when it runs through again, check out number 13. I mean, that's what's going to happen in your worst nightmare, isn't it? Bushcraft. What was I looking for? The ladies or the boys? Bushcraft. It was. I'm going to give you the answer now, but it was the girls. There's 5 real women in 5 girls, and the idea of the game was to get the girls. And Geordie said it's so hard to find. I've made it really difficult this week. Mark says I have a personal ladyboy story. I was on a train in Bangkok. I was in the back of the car with half a dozen Thai ladies, no men. An obvious ladyboy came and started touching up her makeup. Right. What was Joe Javier says 2 5. Yeah, you got 2, Javier. Right. And the last one I'll read out now down here. Bulldog Barton, is it? You've got you haven't got none, unfortunately. Right. Okay. Are you ready? So I'm going to run the answers now. What is it? Paul Hoskins says number 13 is what I always wake up to. Rather you than me, mate. Really. Right. Let's get that back up. Right, so this is the same video, but this has got the answers on it. And so the good thing about this is you can wait for look at the number and then wait for that picture to come, and then you can say, well, is it or isn't it? But I guarantee you, guy, I haven't made any mistakes on these, right? Okay. I mean, I'm laughing to myself. I was actually smiling. I'll tell you why. You know, my background is hotels. I used to work for a large company. I worked in 5-star hotels, and I went to Khon Kaen in Isan when I was 31. And we opened a hotel up there. And there was another one later on. And when that was running, I was 31 then. I'm 61 now, so 30 years ago. And I was just smiling to myself because I thought when I was in a suit and a tie and I was in this 5-star hotel greeting guests and talking to staff and, you know, Mr. Serious, doing spreadsheets and stuff like that. If somebody had come up to me and said, you know what, when you're semi-retired in 30 years time on a Friday night, you'll be showing people pictures of ladyboys, I'd have said you're mad. You need to be certified. But there it is. If you enjoy it, guys, let me know. I'll try and keep it going. It's a lot of preparation because, you know, I have to find the images, get them all down to the right size, put them on a back card with the numbers and that. But if you like it, I'll keep doing it. But I don't want to do it if it's kind of getting boring now. Just let me know if you keep liking it. What's Damon saying? Personal, I get stuck into all of them. Damon, naughty boy. Right. Oh, cheers. If you've just joined us, cheers, guys. It's quite a good stream tonight, 251. And you'll have to let me know when the football finishes. I've moved to Friday because of football on Saturday. If you prefer the stream on a Friday or a Saturday. To be honest, I actually prefer doing it on a Friday because it gives me my weekend then. Because when you do a live stream by yourself, to make it kind of successful, you have to do a lot of research, a lot of preparation, getting these pictures of stories and all that. If you just came on spoke, it get a bit boring quite quickly. So, you know, Saturday, it's not just a case of coming at 10 o'clock when I've had a great day and doing the stream. I have to prepare it. Right. Okay. What's everyone saying? Okay. Eric says, keep doing the competition. What's Bob Cassidy saying? 7 was pretty. I'm in trouble. No, I mean, they are convincing, aren't they? That Marky Mark, thanks, mate. Honestly, I'm embarrassed now because it's the second one, but thank you. I'll try. You were the one who started it off, actually. It was Marky Mark sent me a load of pictures, and I thought this will be a one-off. We'll see how it goes. And I thought it was going to be 1 week. We split his pictures into 2. This is now the 4th week. So I've just got to be careful copyright material. But, you know, thank you for that, Mark. It's very, very kind of you. And who's this now? Football Nerd. This was great stuff. Cheers. I mean, it's amazing, is it, how old we are? I don't know how old all of you guys are, but I'm presuming, looking from my stats on the site, I know there's a lot of guys anywhere between 50 and 65. I mean, we're easily entertained, aren't we? You know, it's got to be better than EastEnders, hasn't it? Or, you know, Mork and Mindy or whatever's on TV these days. And then one from Philip Moffat as well there, $1.49 Australian dollar. Okay, all appreciated. Still got loads more to do, and time's cracking on. David Baker, how about a tomboy quiz? They don't really. They do have tomboys in Thailand, but you don't see that many of them. I mean, the ladyboys are everywhere, aren't they? They're accepted in Thai society, which is great. Nick, mate, honestly, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Haven't seen you driving at the top of the road lately. You'll have to flag me down if you see me. I go without the dog at night now because I'm trying to lose weight and he's old and he can't keep up. I take him in the morning, but thanks a lot. Okay, so what's that? Taxi to Lao. Just getting some feedback on all this. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Let me just because you might have come in late. I just want to put the exchange rates up for a while. Leave them on there, and I'll go through your comments. We've still got a load of stuff here. Okay, thanks, Paul. Yeah, all right. Okay, so we'll do another one next week, and when you guys get tired of it, right? Okay, let me just answer this one quick. You must have come in late. He won't be doing any more streams. We haven't fallen out, Simon and me. This is. He's got a factory in Bangkok. He's busy with his business. He can't do any more with the channel except the Dave and Nat. There'll be a Dave and Nat video on the last Saturday of every Sunday, but that's about it from Simon for the moment. We're the greatest of friends. It's nothing. There's nothing weird about it. It's just I'm semi-retired. I've got time to do this. He hasn't. He thought he would have, but he hasn't. Okay, Ron Arimas. Damn, I didn't get any right. Hey, you better be careful when you're out around Nana then, especially after a few beers. What's that, Franco, you're saying? Hang on. Nick Franco. Wrong. No, I know exactly. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong, but I know exactly. Yeah, I am Nick. There's two Franco, Nick, whatever you want to say. I know I've got it wrong again. The picture of the guy with the leather jacket, he's the guy who lives around the corner from me, and you're the guy in the States. I do know the difference, and sometimes because it's fast flowing the stream, sometimes I mix it up. But yeah, all right, thanks. Okay, Ron says yes, do more Ladyboy games. Mark, go, Mr. Damon. Right. Do you know when we did the first one, the one that surprised me was the amount of guys who came on and said, "Oh well, when you've had a few drinks, it doesn't matter, does it?" And I'm like, "What, really?" Anyway. Okay, let me do a couple more. That's how the weight's going now. So yeah, I'm still drinking beer, but it is coming off. Right. Okay. Let's. I've got a couple of videos. Yeah, Franco says that as well. That wrong, Franco. I hope that explanation made sense. You're the Franco around the corner, and the other guys in the States. But thank you. Right. Yeah. So Damien is actually going to retire to Thailand full time with that lady in the picture there when he's 55. So hopefully that'll all go well. Yeah. Okay. All right, Nick. I got it. I'll try honestly now. It's just because I'm doing stories, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Sometimes you go so fast you don't pick up the detail, but I'll try and get it. Okay. Right, Michael Whitaker. Keep it up. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Yeah. Nick Franco says, if her English is really good, you better check under the hood. I think you know what you mean by that, Nick. Okay, let me put that up. I'm 30 from India. Had the time of my life in Patty for 3 weeks before moving. Your storytelling is so refreshing and soothing at the same time. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, did you see the flood water? That was from an Indian. I worked for a year in India. I worked in Bombay. I worked in the Taj Mahal Hotel. That was the one they made the movie about recently. I was there in 1992. I had a great year there. They call it Mumbai now, but I did actually live and work in the Taj Mahal Hotel for a year. Had a great time. And then after my wife and myself, when I finished a 1-year contract, the management were very kind and they got us free tickets on Air India and they sent us to one of their sister hotels in Goa. I think it was called was it the Hermitage? I can't remember, but it was Goa before the tourists arrived. There was no tourists there. It was just sandy beaches. You got the Spanish fort at the top there. Very, very good memories from India. I met a guy called, you must have heard of Amitabh Bachchan. He used to come into the Taj, and I've actually met him on several occasions. When I was there, his son was 17, and he married Ashwani, the Miss Universe. So bit of name dropping this evening there. Okay, right. Chris Jenkins. Okay, right. So you all seem to like the Ladyboy competition. I did screw up one week because what I did, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the YouTubers now, because it's kind of hard to keep it going because we're not in Thailand. Even the guys in Thailand, they're doing competitions and quizzes. But the one I came up with, I got 20 bars in Pattaya, and the competition was tell me where these bars were. But when the competition started, I thought this will be great. And so many people wrote to me and said, I've never been to Thailand. I've never been to Pattaya. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I just didn't think of it. You know, there are people who watch the channel who, you know, they've not been. So to come up with a competition that everybody can get into, and even if you haven't been to Thailand, if you haven't been to Thailand, that's going to be the hardest competition in the world, isn't it? Spot the lady boy. But and that'll take me quite nicely into okay. Sometimes I answer people's questions. People write to me, they haven't been to Thailand. I'll get through them really quick. There's only 5 this week, not too many questions. Believe it or not, guys, I do have a small percentage of women who are subscribed to the channel. I think it's something like 4 point something percent. I don't know. I worked out the number the other day from the total number of subscribers, and it's something like 940 women are subscribed to this the channel, and they send me emails mostly. And some of the emails they send me, I couldn't read out the questions, to be honest with you. They're worse than us, some of them. But I had a couple of women say, "Look, you know, we know it's fun for the guys, and can you make a video for the women? Is it safe and all this?" And I said, "Yeah, I will, but I don't know if I will because it's, you know, I mean, it's a small percentage, but I do appreciate you all. If you're any women watch, I do appreciate it." But the first question from this week's questions is somebody's written. One of the ladies, is Thailand safe for women to travel alone? So really quickly, it is very, very safe. But obviously, like any other country in the world, you don't want to really find yourself in a secluded spot late at night. Things do happen. If you read the news stories, there was something that happened recently to a Swiss lady. I don't want to bring doom and gloom to the channel tonight because we're having fun. But yeah, generally, it's very, very safe. A lot of you know, people try to scam you out of a few extra pounds or dollars, whatever it is, but you're not going to get hit over the head with a brick most of the time. Just don't go to any secluded beaches at night on your own, sort of thing, walking on the beach. Right. Question number 2, how much money would I need? This is a newbie, right? How much money would I need a day to enjoy myself? Well, that's really an impossible question because it depends what you go out for. I'll tell you what I spend. I'm not even spending the same. If I go out, I've paid for my hotel, paid for the flight, hotel and flight paid for. I'll generally spend anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 baht a day. But then I'm going out to the places like Nana Plaza and Cowboy at night. Obviously, I'm not taking females because I'm married. But it depends what sort of a traveler you are. If you're a guy who wants to go to a real beautiful rural area like Chatham, for instance, and you eat in these lovely open air restaurants, all the delicious seafood, which isn't overly expensive, and you like to lay on the beach all day and you're with a partner, for instance, yeah, I would say 1,500, 2,000 baht a day max will do it. But if you're a single guy, you go out there and you're partying, you're doing shooters, you're buying ladies' drinks, you know, you're getting female company, you can look at anything from 5,000 a day plus. But it's a difficult one to answer. Right, number 3. And sorry, if you're a guy who's been out to Thailand many times, we'll get through these really quick because they might be a bit boring for you. But someone just asked me, they said, and these are newbie questions. They said, if you had to give a newbie traveling to Thailand 3 pieces of advice, I've actually done 5 pieces of advice, what would they be? So the guy's written, he's never been to Thailand, he's planning to go, and he said, what would your 5 bits of advice? I could give you 25, but I'll just give you 5 quick ones. I'll say, never ever touch a Thai person on the head. It's about religion, and the head is the nearest part of the body to God, so that's a no. And you wouldn't show them the soles of your feet either, because that's considered an insult. Okay, that was number 2 actually. B, and the next one is don't ever raise your voice in public because you just lose all respect. The Thais don't tend to get overexcited in heated arguments like we do. You know, they smile and sort it out, and you know, you won't get anywhere by raising your voice. You know, if you're in a reception of a hotel and you're not happy, you start slamming the counter, and you know, it just doesn't work over there. Don't show affection in public, even for Thais. You'll never see a Thai man, woman kissing in public, holding hands. It's considered a no. It's done behind closed doors, and they won't say anything. If you're with your wife or your girlfriend and you're walking down the street holding hands, you have a peck on the cheek, quick kiss, they won't say anything to you, but you know, it's just not a done thing. And then don't tell, this is one I've heard in Pattaya especially, whatever you do, don't tell Thais how great your country is. You know, I've been in a bar and a guy said, oh look, you know, this saying to a bar girl, he said, no, look at the pavement, it's all uneven and you could trip up and break your neck. In my country, it's like you could stand a coin on it, and they don't want to hear that crap. right? Number 4, which area in Thailand is best for first-time travelers? Again, it's a difficult one because if you want to go there and party and get some female entertainment, then obviously somewhere like Pattaya, Hua Hin, Bangkok. If you want to go and you're you just want to see a beautiful island, something like that, then you're looking at one of the islands, aren't you? It depends what sort of a traveler you are. And number 5, just a quick one. If I forget my medication from home, can I get it in Thailand? Not only can you get it, you don't need a prescription. You don't need to go to a doctor. They sell everything across the country, across the counter. So as long as you have the name of your medicine written down and you can show it to the pharmacy, they all speak English. You'll get. I take. I'm on a prescription because I get antacid reflux. Acid comes back up, so I take 1 tablet a day. I forgot it one time. I walked into a pharmacy on Sukhumvit and I bought 2 boxes for about 1,000 baht. So there you go. And if you're watching this and you've never been, you'd like to ask any questions, you send them to me by email or comment, and I'll answer them on the stream. Right, let's have a look what you guys are saying. I haven't answered the comments for a while. Okay, what's this? Right, Nick Franco. I wonder borderline blacked out. I had no problems other than sticking their hands. Yeah, I mean they do have a reputation for that. I've had that coming down from the 3rd floor in Nana. When the bars are closed, and a couple of ladyboys, one grabbed me and the other one's got hands in my pockets, But just got to be careful, haven't you? Right, Mazza says it would be interesting to see the age range stats of your subscribers. Right, so I can tell you off the back. I'll get a graph one day. The stats from my subscribers, ages, I've got very few young. I have got some young people like 18 to 24, not that many, and then 25 until sort of 40 or 30. Not a huge amount, but it's going up. Just to cut through the chase, the biggest audience for this channel is aged between 55 and 65. Sorry, 50 and 65. So and that makes sense, does it? Because I'm a 61-year-old guy. And I wouldn't go and watch a 20-year-old's YouTube channel. Right, what's this? Thailand Recon Tour. I don't, but you don't take ladies, Peter. People don't believe that. They say, come on, when you got to Thailand your own, you must, when the cat's away and all that. But honestly, guys, I don't. I just don't do it. I don't need to do it. I've got my Korean wife. We've been with her a long time. I just. I like going out and drinking with my friends. I like going out with Simon. I like to go in the go-go bars and look at everything, of course, but I don't. No, people don't believe me, and I don't sound very convincing, do I? But you'll have to take it. Okay, let's move on. Right. What's that? Thomas, I live in USA and I feel safer in Thailand. Do you know what? It's funny you should say that because I say that so many times. People ask me and I say, my answer, I'll say, I feel safer walking through Bangkok alone at 3 a.m. in the morning than I do in my local town in the UK at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I mean that, honestly. Yeah, on one of the videos I made, I said, talking about the freelance, I said, what, on that video I made of the girls, I said, after 30 years, I still feel for these girls, what a way to have to spend your life. And some idiot wrote to me and said, well, you're like a white knight, why do you have a bleeding heart? And I'm, the guy must have a brick as a heart. But anyway, a little bit of a conversation going on here between Damon and Franco. Right, Chris says, I plan on doing a 2-week solo motorbike holiday in Hang My. I'm not trying to scare you, Chris. One of the biggest amounts of deaths in Phuket out of the UK. No, so hang on, let me get my facts straight. There's a lot of deaths in Phuket, and what it is, guys go out there. They're like my age. They used to ride bikes when they were 20, and you can get a big bike so easy. Just pay some money, and they go mad, and they end up, on the wrong. I'm sure that's not what's not going to happen to you. But I have read stories on the channel about guys who went on a motorcycle holiday around Chang-Mia, and people have pulled out. But I'm a biker. I haven't got one at the moment. I've had a pan-European. I had a Suzuki 1400. I had the CB 750. This 4. I've had bikes since I was 16. FS1E when I was 16. The fizzy. But you either love them or you hate them. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Is someone still giving answers to the Ladyboy competition? That's gone. We've done it. Right. Okay. Let me do a few more bits for you before we move on. I've got to get through this stuff now because the videos I've uploaded, I want you guys to see these. Okay. Right. Somebody came in late. I don't know where the comments gone, but they want to see that video again. You know, the guy who was in the jungle for 3 days and they found him and his Thai wife came out and she was crying. So, I don't mind. It's only a minute long. I'll put it up, please.
Thank you everyone ขอบคุณทุกคนนะคะขอบคุณทุกคนขอบคุณทุกทีมงานที่สู้มาด้วยกันขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Thank you a million, George. Thank you.
Like I say, a nice happy ending there, wasn't it? Very emotional. And nice to see actually that genuine relationship there. Okay, let me just show you. I've got a picture of this one. Let me find this. Okay. So I'll just read this one out quick. This is a bit of a doom and gloom story. So I don't know how old this story is. It just a few days, but the title of this is Australian expat loses wife and child in Bangkok condo fall. So a woman and her baby were killed in a fall from the 9th floor of a condominium building in a side street in Bangkok's Pathum Wa district. Probably said that's wrong. On Wednesday morning, Lumpini police were informed of the incident about 6:30 a.m. At the 21-story condominium. They found the bodies of a Thai woman and a baby on a second-floor overhang. Police said the 37-year-old woman and 8-month-old child lived with her Australian husband on the 3rd floor. They had quarreled, and the angry woman carried her baby to the 9th floor, then jumped off. That's sad, isn't it? But let me just show you the picture there. And they found her. So obviously their apartment's on the 9th floor, but they found her on that overhang there. You see where the yellow body bag at the top of the ladder there, where the guys in white are standing. That's where the body landed. That's quite a sad story there. Can you imagine having an argument with your wife and she ends up jumping off the balcony? All right, let's give you something to cheer you up a little bit. Right, this was quite fun. We're nearly done with the little news articles now, but this one is a bumper catch for Pattaya roadside fishermen. So last Friday, during an afternoon, the downpour, a group of seasoned local residents were quick to grab the opportunity to make the most of the situation. Spreading out along Sukhumvit Highway, just outside a fenced-off plot of land that had a huge natural pond on its grounds, the fishermen cast their nets into the flooded road and set fish traps in the overflowing sewers. One roadside fisherman said, "After every heavy rainfall, we come up with our fishing nets and traps and can usually catch a lot of fish swimming in the sewers and the flooded roads." Sewers, how disgusting. And there they are there, look, the Pattaya roadside fishermen. But, at the end of the day, they're getting free food, aren't they? Right, back to the comments. Right. Bob Smith, 1982, Bangkok 21, now 2021. Okay, I don't know what you're... Okay, as usual, there's quite a few private conversations going on there. Paul, the FS1E was actually a Yamaha. It was a Fizzy. Do you remember it? If you're not from the UK, it's probably all changed now. But to get around the when you're 16, you could ride a moped. A moped is I'm not going to get into it. If you don't know, you'll have to look it up. But in the UK back in the day, you could ride a moped when you were 16. But the clever Japanese, they got around this, so they made them look like real proper motorbikes. They look like a proper motorbike, but it was only 50cc. It wasn't restricted, but the pedals, you could actually change them into pedals because the law said that a moped must be able to be used like a bike. and it was very popular. And the Honda they had was it was the something 50, but the Honda one was a 4-stroke, but the Fizzy was a 2-stroke. It was always preferred by young 16-year-old lads because it was faster, being a 2-stroke. Right. Excuse me. Yeah, that's it. Simon says it was a Yamaha, correct. Nick, I don't know. What do you think of that, guys? Nick says that's on that video. So crocodile tears. She thought her ATM was gone. That's cruel. Now, I think that was genuine. I mean, they're an old couple, aren't they? I mean, that's just my opinion. Opinions are like backsides, aren't they? Everyone's got one, including me. Right. A lot of people coming back and saying Yamaha. Right. Dell says Will Smith and Nat will be back for a live. Will Simon and Nat be back for a live at some stage? Yeah, I mean, obviously some guys didn't hear what I said at the beginning there. Simon's not involved in the channel any longer because of work, but he's said he'll commit to the Nat and Dave. He'll do one will come out on the last Saturday of every month. Okay, so let's do something completely different, as I used to say on what was that program called? I can't remember what the program. My memory's going. Right, let's do a couple of serious ones that I looked up today. Okay, so here's one, Monty Python Circus. That was the one I was thinking of. Right, so here's a serious one about, when we can go back and stuff. So this is a follow-up on the other ones I was reading. So the title of this is Pattaya officials concerned high costs of tests will deter foreign tourists. Tourism officials in Pattaya are concerned that the demands being made of foreign tourists, including multiple costly tests, will put people off visiting Pattaya. Hopes to reopen quarantine-free under a sealed route system, but the Chonburi Tourism Council has expressed concern about the costs involved for visitors. Pattaya is eyeing Russia and India as potential tourism markets, as well as foreigners who own condos in Pattaya or have family or businesses there. However, they say the discussion with a Russian tour operator revealed that the current cost of arriving in Thailand as a foreigner could be a significant deterrent. Foreign tourists are required to take 3 PCR tests costing 8,500 baht each. That's a lot, isn't it? As well as paying 3,000 to 5,000 baht for the anti-risk insurance. I mean, 8,500 baht, you're talking, what's that, about £225 times 3. You're talking close to £700. I wouldn't do it. Would you do it? £700? I wouldn't. And that's without the insurance. And the last one on this particular subject. So the CCSA extends controls in dark red provinces till September the 30th. The restrictions include the curfew and work from home measures. The CCSA urged people in dark provinces not to leave home unnecessarily between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. It said businesses and other activities can be conducted as usual, except for the entertainment businesses. Alcohol consumption in restaurants is still banned. So, yeah, and we'll do a last story now. This is about the Chinese ties. The title on this, it says Thailand to halt the Sinovac use after October. So the Thai government have, the vaccine that was. I'm not China bashing tonight. That's not what I'm about. I'm just reading general stories, and this is part of what's going on. So the Thai government are not happy with this vaccine from China. And it says this week, the Chinese embassy in Bangkok issued an abrasive statement taking issue with a new widespread criticism of the Sinovac vaccine in Thailand. The announcement came to the embassy's Facebook page and warned that the criticism was impairing the strong and warm relationship between Thailand and the People's Republic of China. So they're a bit pissed off with that. But, if they think it's not safe, then, I mean, they said in their defense, look, at it, we've supplied it to Indonesia and another country, and they haven't had any problems, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. This is a crazy one. The one on this is one. It's called "Missing Chiang-Mai Toddler Saved from a Sacrifice." Right, sacrifice. A toddler who was allegedly abducted from her home at a remote village in Chiang Mai was found unharmed on Wednesday, according to local media. Chiang Mai's police chief major told reporters that a Myanmar national confessed to abducting the girl to sacrifice her to the forest. The search for the girl began last Sunday. The suspect, named Xiao, who was a friend of the girl's father, told the police after hours of interrogation that he abducted her because of the ghosts that protected the forest and the mountain near his village told him to do so. She was a year and 11 months and he was going to sacrifice her. Gee whiz. Okay, so I think we're done with the stories now. Okay, right, let's get back to you guys. How long we got left? What time is it? 15 minutes. I might have to have a third beer. I'll tell you what, I do have to go to the loo though. Would you let me just nip to the loo real quick, guys, and I'll just put this on. That's funny, isn't it? That guy's laying there. You know how dirty a urinal is. You go into a bar or a pub, you got one of those stainless steel urinals. How drunk do you have to be to actually get in it and go to sleep? Very disgusting laying in that, but hey, we're all young once. Right, where are we? We've got about 15 minutes to go, so let's see what you're saying. Nick says, I watched a video of a guy dining at the Wyon Bargo during Songkran. They sprayed the hose to get him off. Okay. What's this? Christian says, how about a show on massage places, what you get for... Yeah, I can't really do that, Chris, because the thing is, I'm married, you know, and I can't say, well, if you go into this one, you'll get this for that much. And, you know, my wife's going to ask me how I know, isn't she? But there is a lot of videos about, you know, you can find anything on, there's a lot of single guys living in Thailand. You put it into YouTube, it'll all come up. You know, there's a bit of a community thing going on here now because I've got to try and find the comments where you guys aren't speaking to each other. Right. Bellona Mars. Do they have organized crime in Phuket? That's quite a lovely picture there. Bellona, is that how you say it? Yeah, they do. They have it everywhere. I mean, if you think about it, it's it doesn't matter what country in the world, you're going to get it. Every country in the world. I don't know how much they have. I've not been to Phuket too many times. I found it quite expensive. If I'm going to go for a seaside town, I'll either go to Pattaya or Hua Hin. But yeah, they have it everywhere. But it's not going to affect you. Just some of them they call them mafias. They do things like the jet ski scams and rip-off sort of things. There's plenty. I've got videos on my channel about it. Just look at a few of them. They don't really interfere with you like they do in some countries. But yeah, to answer your question, they do have them. Right, what else have we got? Yeah, Dale, last Saturday of every month, mate. Simon Will, he's committed to that. I don't know if that's the one I read out earlier. Damien's got a couple of nice motorbikes. Talking about motorbikes, because I'm in contact with Damien. He's got these Ducati motorbikes. Is that how you say it? Ducati? But they come in. They're not like standard Ducatis. They've been specially. He's ordered them and he's told them what they want, and they were built in that country where they come from, and came in a crate. And these guys from Ducati come along to his garage and put all the test equipment on. There's some serious money's worth there. Nice bikes. I think he told me there were one of them was 210 brake horsepower. I mean, that's a hell of a machine. 210. I mean, my Suzuki 1400cc, I can't remember what the brake horsepower is of that. It could have been about 140, so it shows you 210. And my Suzuki was real fast. I can't imagine sitting on that. It must want to take off. Yeah, well, Nat has, Richard says, hi, Peter. It looks like Nat is going to get away with her two-timing ways. Well, the thing is, Richard, she's on a roll and she's met another guy now, hasn't she? So we have to wait. The next, let me just pull the calendar up here. The next Nat and Dave will be out on Saturday the 25th. So we'll find out what's happening there. But she has already met one other guy, and I'm sure he's going to be like a lamb to the slaughter. Right, Thomas Mark, questions to our subscribers. What year did you first experience Thailand? I first went in 1985. Who has been there earlier? Yeah, you're earlier than me, Mark. 1991 was when I first went out to Thailand for the first time, visiting, not living. Okay, just what else? Richard says, I saw the YouTube video of that, Peter. You know, I forgot what we were talking about. Richard, yes, I had an FS1E. I think everybody in England who rides motorbikes had an FS1E. That was it. SS50 Honda Paul C. Yeah. Right. Okay. So right. We haven't got long. So let's get some good stuff going again. Cheers, guys. Right. This is something I got from Bangkok Jacks today. You know the. I don't know if you have them in like Australia. We'll have them, but I hope they're not too different to the ones in the UK. But I come across some phrases, you know, famous kind of sayings that people will say, like, you know, when you drink, good health to you, or pull your finger out, or, you know, you're going to face the music now, or dress to the nines. And, you know, you think, where do them sort of sayings come from? And I've actually got an explanation here now. So I'll read one or two of these out because we haven't got long to go. Then I'll finish up with some comments. All right. I hope you've enjoyed the stream tonight, guys. I put a lot of effort into getting all these bits and pieces. So, yeah. Right. Okay. So why do we say good health when we are about to drink alcohol, which is far from good health? It's far from good for us, right? So it says, the answer lies in the 19th century and in England's second deadly outbreak of cholera between 1848 and 1849. Local physician, a doctor, John Snow, suggested cholera was linked to people drinking polluted water. For a long while afterwards, locals would avoid water and drink only ales and wines, knowing the boiling fermenting process would kill any bacteria in the water used for it. So, good health. I will do that one now. Okay, let's do another one. I don't know if I'll do too many of these. I'll see how they go, and we'll get into the comments. Pull your finger out. The phrase "pull your finger out" is these days associated with encouraging somebody to get a move on. Loaded cannons would have gunpowder poured into a small ignition hole, which was then held in place with a wooden plug. But in times of battle, when speed was of the essence, the powder would be pushed in and then held in a place by a gun crew member using his finger. Impatient artillerymen, anxious to fire the cannons at the advancing enemy, would shout at his crewmate to pull his finger out so that the gun could be fired. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, I've got two more. I might do them later, but I don't want to lose you guys. Right, let's see what you say. We've got about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes left. Let's see what you all saying. Yeah, the Fizzy, the FS1E, mine was a classic. It had the yellow tank with a black and white checkered down the side. Brilliant little bike. Right, you've changed your name. Pazamio. Right, late to the party. Sad to lose Simon from the channel. Yeah, I mean, he's got 3 sons with his Thai wife. He's got a mortgage on his house in Bangkok. He's got his factory. He's got to think of business first, hasn't he? And he came into this channel. You know, I brought him in because I thought, I'm in England, he's in Thailand. He'll bring a Thai flavor to it. And unfortunately, it hasn't quite worked out. Not because he doesn't enjoy doing it, but he just hasn't got the time. You know, he comes home from work, he's tired, and but he has told me he'll do the Nat and Dave at the end of the month. So I hope so, because I'd hate to lose the Nat and Dave videos because they can go on for a while, and then we can move on to something else. Somebody wrote to me today, and it was really nice actually, because a guy wrote to me and he said, "Oh, my Thai wife and me watch these Nat and Dave videos. My Thai wife finds them really funny." And I was really happy at that, because I had a few guys write to me in the early days of the videos, and they said, "Oh, my wife hates it. You know, it's like she just doesn't like it." So to hear that a Thai woman actually enjoys the Nat and Dave videos kind of made me quite happy today. It's all bike talk now. I shouldn't have mentioned the FS1E. Look, it's all coming out now. I then got a Yamaha RD50. Do you know what? The bike I really liked after, this is the last thing about bikes, right? The bike I really liked after the FS1E was the RD250. Do you remember that? 2 pots, 2-stroke, went like shit off a shovel. There you go. Right, Paul Hoskin. Really? Just put a massage parlor in the airport. Wow. I think there's one here where I live now. I must go and have a look, investigate it, just for the channel, you know. Yeah, no, they're trying to put a cap on that, aren't they, Richard? So that they have put a cap on it. I don't know what's happening with that. Yeah, you're talking about the PCR test when you go into Thailand, aren't you? What else? Let me just check I haven't missed anything else out here. If you want to see any of these videos or pictures again, let me know and I can run them again. Right. Okay, I put that up there. So on this one, I did read. I don't print out all the stories that I go through, but when I go through I've got bookmarked about 6 or 7 Thai-based newspapers, whatever you want to call them. And I did read today that hoteliers in Pattaya, they've actually come out and said, look, they haven't said China, but it's obvious, isn't it? They've said, look, we've had buyers sniffing around, and if we don't get help, you know, these hotels could be sold to Chinese buyers. So yeah, some people are getting quite desperate. Right. Peter McDowell, fair play about not showing girls in the videos. It's an emotive subject and probably no right or wrong answer. All right. Oh, okay. You're talking to Chris. Yeah, so a lot of people coming out with the same thing. I got to be careful because I'm just telling the stories that are out there, and if I say too many stories about a certain country, like if I read out a lot of negative stories about India or China or wherever, people are going to say, "Oh, you're China bashing or you're India bashing." I'm really not. I'm just like, you know, I haven't given an opinion on it. I'm just reading what I read. Right. No, you got your YouTubers mixed up there. I think you'll find that's Mr. Sweeney, and I don't think you'll be hearing a creaky door on his next stream because he's actually in Greece at the moment. I did watch his 20-minute upload after his long journey. I'm looking forward to his next one because he's just arrived there now, and his video was about his bus trip to get there. And I'm looking forward to see what he does while he's there, what they've got. You know, who knows? Maybe I'll have a visit there if it looks good. Right, okay. Yeah, some of these I can't read out, unfortunately. I agree with some of them, but I can't read them out. Oh my God. Is that for real? No, I can't believe it. Because as soon as you taste it, you'd vomit, wouldn't you? I presume you're, Nick, you're sort of like relating to that image that I put up, or the little video. But to actually go and drink it, God almighty. No, I'm not saying you're a liar, but it's just terrible. Right, let's get rid of that. But I don't know. Wise Prophet, what is the worst thing that ever happened to you in Thailand? You know what? I've never really had any worst thing happen to me. If that question is directed at me, not another person on the channel, what have I done? I've cocked up a couple of times in a small way. Nothing that really stands out, but I know I must have done. The worst thing that's ever happened to me. Do you know? I honestly can't remember. I know I make all these videos about scams and all the rest of it, but I keep saying Thailand's a wonderful country. The people are great. I thoroughly enjoy going there. And I've just used common sense and nothing's really happened. I don't know, maybe I got charged. Oh, okay, look, you know, we all get scammed in tuk-tuks, you know, they put high prices on and all that, but I've not ended up in a Thai jail. I haven't been jumped and gang banged by sort of 20 lady boys or anything like that. So no, nothing really. It's very safe. Right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. There's still loads of comments here. Okay, most of them are between each other. Right, guys, that's we're nearly there. Hang on. Not yet, not quite yet. I'd like to make it a minimum of 2 hours. Right, what's this now? Good stream again, but it's time for bed. Catch you later. Yeah, Franco, if you see me walking, stop for a chat. We'll catch up. I don't know if you've seen your mate. What's his the baldy guy? I forget his name, but he actually made a video and he was talking about the cartoons and stuff, and he said same software, and he sort of did say something to me like, you know, no hard feelings, whatever. I don't know what it is, but you know, it's up to him, isn't it, at the end of the day? Right. Okay, so we've done that, Lewis. You're going to have to watch on the rerun. We're talking about this guy drinking from the urinal. He was drunk. Some Germans told him what he was doing. If I can find it, I'll say. Do you know what? If you find that video, please send it to me. I'll just put my and I'll play it on here. There's my email address. Just send it to me. It will be on the next stream, which is not next Friday, but the Friday after that. Ah, Damon, you've had too many vodka oranges, haven't you, Damon? Thanks. I'll send it back to you tomorrow. Let me put that up on screen, just to find the night out. That's a funny figure there, 44.99, but that'll get a lot of Kronenberg. Thanks, Damon. You know, when we go down to Brighton to do that filming I was talking about, the fish and chips are on me, 100%. You're not buying them, I'm buying them. And the first beers in Thailand, I'm buying them as well. Thanks. Right, guys, have we got anything else important to say before we go? Yeah, Mazar will. I'll tell him all the best. He might watch this stream actually and hear what I've said. Yeah, guys, that's it. It's 2 hours. It's been a great stream. I've enjoyed it. I've had a couple of beers. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Right, so tomorrow in the morning, the full stories are already uploaded there for the members, the silver and gold members. They can watch them now. I'll release it to everybody tomorrow morning, probably about 9-10 in the morning UK time. And then the next stream is going to be 2 weeks today. And I'm going to be doing another video with Michael. Do you remember Michael from Michael Parrott? I think we did a video on marriage scams. You know, the girls who do the scams to get visas, green cards and all that. Well, I was contacted by a doctor in America who, funny enough, he watches these stories of mine. And he said to me, I don't know if you're aware of it, because one of the biggest questions is, are these guys stupid? Why do they fall in love with bar girls and all this? And this doctor wrote to me and he said to me, look, you know, here's some conditions, mental health conditions. They appear normal. And he explained it all in an email. And I said, look, and he said his name. You don't want to say his name. I wrote to him and I said, look, doctor, this is fantastic. It's great information because people are always asking me, are these guys stupid? How can they fall in love with bar girls? And your explanation is perfect. And I said, would you like to come on to the stream and I'll interview you and you can tell everybody about it? But quite understandably, he's a doctor. He doesn't want to come on a channel that talks about bar girls. And but what I did say to him, I said, well, look, can we use your what you've written? Can we use it? And I'll do the video with Michael because Michael deals with this kind of thing as well. He's got an organization, or he deals with an organization. So I'm going to try and contact Michael tomorrow evening. There's a 6-hour delay from where he is in America, and we're just going to try and go over how we're going to format the interview like we did on the marriage scams. So hopefully that will come up quite soon. And then tomorrow, if you're just coming late, I'm a guest on Bangkok Pat's channel tomorrow. That will go out 2 p.m. He starts his channel 2 p.m. UK time, which is what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 p.m. Thai time. Bangkok Pat, great channel. I'll be on there as a guest. I'm sure he's going to ask me lots of personal questions. But guys, I've done over 2 hours now, a couple of beers, and I'm starting to feel it now. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks to everybody. As always, I can't say thank you to everybody, but have a great weekend, guys. And thanks for joining.